Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by Memphis's only Topgolf Swing Suite at Erling Jensen Small Bites. Now, here's your host, Johnny Radio himself, John Harden.
Yo, welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder is in the house. We got a busy program for you. We're going to talk a little bit about, the natty that happened last night. Kansas, what a comeback. Down 16, comes all the way back, but comes up 1 point short for me jacking and 2 points short for me covering, and I'm glad Kansas came back and won that game. Not really. Don't make me so excited in the second half. Then just step out of the bounds like an idiot when they're about to foul you and you're going to go to a free throw line. Hey, let's just run out of bounds because we're Kansas. So I will talk about that game, how disappointed I was.
Seems like you just did that, though.
Do what now?
You said, I'll talk about that game. I said, it seems like you just did
I'm going to talk
more about it, of
More
course.
about it. I'll talk about also, it's kind of weird. Kansas won. You know how many level 1 violations they have hanging over their head?
Wow. Good news for the Tigers, huh?
Yeah. No.
No?
I don't know
Oh, never mind.
the Tigers or Kansas. By the way, I guess
So they're out to get the Tigers.
more than likely. You know how they just for some reason can't help
That's
it.
right.
They just don't like us. I will say this though, Mark Emmert's an idiot, right?
Sure.
So did you not see his gaffe last night?
No, what'd he say? You know a gaff in Ireland is like a house?
Really?
Yeah, isn't that so? I learned that I have a buddy that lives in Ireland, and on Snapchat this week, and he was like, she's screaming in the gaff. I'm like, what's the gaff? I've never heard that before. Anyway, what did Mark Emmert do what was his gaff?
And by the way, I misspeak all the time.
Oh, is it not a gaff?
You probably no, he misspoke. It's a gaffe.
Oh.
I'm just saying everybody makes mistakes.
Me first and foremost.
You speak for 2 hours, you're probably going to say something stupid.
For 5 minutes, John, I'd say something stupid.
Those things can happen. But if you have only one job,
It's an ESPN segment.
there's only 2 dead gum people. Like there's only 2 teams that are playing. You think you could get that right.
Oh, he got the team's name wrong.
He said he got a lot wrong.
Wait, what did he say? What did he say?
In fact, I think I might actually save this to play the audio for you.
Was it in the
pretty funny?
Was it in like the post game delivering of the trophy or whatever?
Yes, it was.
Oh wow, that's something.
Did you watch that part?
No, I didn't. I haven't heard any of this.
Yes, it's going to be funny. We're also going to play probably some audio of the Sue Bird, Megan Rapinoe, and you didn't see the South Carolina women's
That wasn't
victory?
Megan Rapinoe. I don't think, was it?
Well, I mean, it
was
says
Diana-
Megan Rapinoe.
I thought it was Diana Taurasi.
There was 2 girls. It was a mega cast, and they had different guests coming in.
Oh.
And Megan Rapinoe joined when they were doing flaccid jokes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
made that same joke yesterday, and you went right past it.
Yeah, I went right past it, but it was Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, and those were the 2 hosting the Manning-like megacast, okay, for college basketball. So you have Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, and during the time that Megan Rapinoe joined is when they got started talking about how it is that basketball is a game of inches, just a game of inches, and how. Then they started talking about how none of the ladies on the telecast take any of those inches.
Well, did you watch that South Carolina game, John?
Of course I did. I told you.
I mean, the
bet on the
Gamecocks,
game.
John, the length of the Cocks was a problem.
Yes, and that's kind of a comment that Sue Bird made. Yes. Oh my goodness, you're actually on it. So you did
Diana
catch
Taurasi.
that. You did. Was it Diana Taurasi?
Uh-huh. And then she didn't even crack a smile.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
that
it
was
Sue Bird's reaction.
Yeah.
That was
She took the sip.
hilarious.
She took the
she
sip.
was like, yes, it was Sue. It was Diana Taurasi who made the joke. It was Sue Bird who had the great reaction.
She didn't even crack a smile, Diana Taurasi. Pro comedian right there. Didn't even acknowledge that she had made the most hilarious immature joke in the history of televised sports, I think.
It was.
And then did you hear
I was proud of it.
the joke Raph made last night
About Remy Martin?
Just saying, I love a good late night Remy.
Dude, I thought that was perfect.
That is a great quote.
I had to give him actually a whole lot of love on that one.
We have so many good quotes. I have sound also from Jalen Green here ready today. So we have a lot of sound. How about that? I love a good sound show.
We got a lot of good sound today, but I'm just going to go ahead and put this out there real quick.
Okay.
Mark Emmert, again, has one job, right?
Yeah.
And I don't even really know what his major job is, but last night he was
commish, right?
Handing out the no, but I'm saying what does he do to make seven figures? He's got the cushiest job in the world.
Takes all the heat from everybody.
He takes the heat for everybody, I guess, but he deserves a lot of heat because he's pretty much trash. Last night he says, "Congratulations to the Kansas City Jayhawks." The Kansas City Jayhawks? The Kansas City Jayhawks? Then the best part is he's like, man, and let me just tell you something. Let me correct myself. I'm sorry. He said, congratulations to the University of Kansas. All right, tell me I'm not crazy, but isn't it Kansas University? Like, they don't call him UK. They call him KU for a reason. So you have one job. You failed it twice. Proves that you are, I don't know, lucky, I guess. Speaking of luck, we're going to talk about a lot of baseball stuff. We got good luck. We got bad luck going on in the world of baseball. Some people are coming up lame. Some people have really bad luck because they said they were taking fertility pills, and all of a sudden pops up as a PED, and I'm talking about the Brewers catcher, Pedro Severino. He's been suspended for taking performance-enhancing drugs, 80-game ban. And the reason is he has this huge 80-game ban is because of performance-enhancing drugs. And, Jay, just curious. Never mind. Jay's on the telephone talking about scheduling situations, it sounds like, with somebody. But we got a lot of stuff to get to, and we're going to jump into the leadoff. But I think the biggest story of the day is kind of hitting up everything on all the headlines. It's all over the place. It's everything perfect. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Tiger Woods is going to play. Now, I have to ask you, what was that about?
Hey, John, Ole Miss baseball plays tonight.
Okay. And
yeah.
But who are you talking to?
Brett Norsworthy of Sports Time on Sports 56.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
So, okay.
On from 3 to 5:30 today because Ole Miss baseball, the pregame starts at 5:30 there.
I got you.
I got you. We're huge Rebel baseball fans. Even though they got swept by Tennessee, I'm captain of the Vol Navy, so I love the Vols. But you were talking about Tiger Woods. Continue.
Yeah, Tiger's back. Gronk doesn't know if he's going to come back, and guess what? One person came back, and I'm talking about Tom Brady. They're saying, is the Globe a good source?
Isn't the Globe a British publication?
Oh yeah, because I read just gossip all day long, right?
Well, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I do read a lot of gossip. Okay, again, is it the Boston Globe?
Oh, Boston Globe. That's something different.
Ah, Boston Globe. Is it real?
Oh, I think the Boston Globe is a reputable news source. Now, the Globe, though, is a tabloid based out of Montreal, Quebec. No, I'm sorry. It was started in Montreal, Quebec. It's based out of Boca Raton, Florida. Nothing good comes out of Boca Raton, John. Probably criminal if it comes from Boca Raton. Is that reckless speculation?
This week, the Globe.
Okay, so that's the tabloid.
Is the tabloid. They're reporting that Tom Brady and Giselle might be on the outs, and it could cost Tom Brady a $650 million divorce for playing one more season. It's not reckless speculation from me.
It's from the Globe.
It's printed from the Globe. Is that kind of like what's the old thing there where we used to have the aliens on, and now we're proving that they're right?
National Enquirer.
Thank you. Yeah, National Enquirer. Like, didn't they used to say back in the day, like Michael Jackson was spotted with some aliens?
Elvis. Oh, people still spot Elvis in the tabloids to this day.
Well, it's because there's a lot of Elvis impersonators out there
but it's not always in Vegas. Sometimes he's living in the Caribbean, He's in Cuba.
So you're saying an Elvis impersonator is not allowed to take a vacation?
Yeah, that's true. But they wouldn't dress up as Elvis. Do you think they use all the hair gel and everything while they're on vacation?
I think it's kind of like, what do they call them, method actors, where they just have to immerse themselves into the character?
Jim Carrey did that once.
I figure if you're going to be an Elvis impersonator, you probably walk around all the time being like, what is that? Give me a famous Elvis saying.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Do you think he actually said that back in the day? Like he got a cup of coffee, got like a little bagel or whatever. He's like, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a great question. Is it all a put on? Is his voice all a put on? Like if he talks, I'd be like, hello, Priscilla.
No, I don't think it's like that. It's
And
like
then he goes, hey, hubba, you know.
Yeah, Hubba Hubba Burning Love, man.
Yeah, there you go.
By the way, Hubba
That's our
Hubba
Elvis.
Burning Love had a whole different meaning late in his life.
It
Didn't
really did. It really did.
That was kind of like a Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird little joke, right?
It was a toilet humor.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I
It was
love
pretty
it.
good. But I will say we got to get the lead off because we have David Cobb joining us at 11:30 today. We're talking all things national championship. We'll talk about Kansas. We're going to talk about North Carolina, their collapse. Did they run out of gas? How did you feel about it? 901-360-8255. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Let us know what you think. Don't forget, Gabe Kuhn at noon.
It rhymes, so you can remember it.
Gabe Kuhn at noon on a little Tuesday. You know what else we're doing today?
What?
Hardwood, because why?
It feels so good.
That is correct, sir. But before we get to the leadoff, I wanted to remind you of, do you know what feels really good?
What's that, John?
In your time of need, knowing that you have somebody that's got your back. Knowing that you're protected when that storm comes through and like demolishes your house, or somebody runs into the back of your car, or you get sick and have to go to the hospital because you have a good neighbor. You have a great neighbor from State Farm, and your good neighbor is Bob Simpson. Make sure you stay protected with him at 901-381-1233. Find out what the Patrick Price or the Rogers rate can do for you. You can go online real quick and get a free quote at bobsimpson.org. And again, everyone needs protection. Make sure you have it from the best, and that would be Bob Simpson at State Farm. Guess where I'm at? I'm in the box.
Carlos Yates already said what's up, John. He says hello.
What's Hunka Hunka?
Hunka hunka. Not, we said hubba hubba burning love, but it's
From
actually,
here, it looks like I thought it said hookah at first, and I knew it was
You like
a
hookah?
hookah. No, I don't.
Really?
I'm not a
Arabic,
tobacco
so I love.
guy.
I'm Arabic, so I love hookah.
I mean, I don't mind the idea of like hitting a big old bong. The problem is
it's
the
tobacco.
hookahs. Yeah, it's tobacco. Like I'm not again. I don't use tobacco
Yeah. So
unless I'm really, really deep in the rimming.
Is that right?
I mean, or the Tito's or the Jack Daniels. Like if I'm knee deep in something, every once in a while they'll actually look really appealing. You'll
Little
try
ciggy.
it, and then you'll be like, "That is disgusting."
Not what I thought it was going to be.
Not what I thought it was going to be.
Even though you've done it multiple times, that's never what you think it's going to be.
I don't know why. Once you get to that certain point, you're like, "Yeah, let me try one of those things," and you're like, "Ugh, nasty."
Relatable. John, I have some questions for you today. Let's start with this one. You mentioned Gronk and Brady earlier, and it got me to thinking, also with the combination news of Gronk and the Patriots trading for Devontae Parker. Dolphin fans might have unique PTSD, John, because you know another famous Dolphin wide receiver that was traded to the Patriots under Bill Belichick's tutelage is Wes Welker, and one of the best Patriots ever. So, John, I had to ask you, people give Bill Belichick a lot of heat for not being good at getting wide receivers. Is he the best drafter of tight ends ever?
Well, I mean, does it go as a positive or a negative that you got Aaron Rodgers,
Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez?
John, how would we have known? How would we have known?
I don't know, man. It seems like
I mean, that guy is, for as much as he liked to murder, I mean, that guy could play.
really
that
good
guy
at
could
football.
play. And him and Gronk were on the same team. And everyone's like, oh, Belichick never gets good receivers. It's always Welker and Edelman. Look, if you got Aaron Hernandez and Gronk lining up on both sides of the offensive line, do you really need wide receivers, John? Or are they just decoys to throw the ball to the big fellas?
You really just need those two dudes.
All right, best drafter of tight ends maybe ever, right? I can't even think of another example.
Let's see. I mean,
But I don't know football the way you do. But I just, initially, it's like that has to be the best ever. Those guys played on the same team.
They did play on the same team. The only problem is again, I mean, Tony Gonzalez,
Oh, man.
Antonio Gates, these guys were taken not from necessarily a football background.
That's a good
But
point.
because they played basketball, and some coach out there said, let me tell you something.
That's a good point.
That man can play some great tight end. He can use that big old junk in his trunk to box out them linebackers, and he's so fast he can run past them.
Who guards him?
He's too big to be tackled by a safety,
Yeah.
and corners can't cover him because they'll squash their little faces. So you got to give those. I mean,
It's a good shout.
Jimmy Graham, Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates. Those are huge. By the way, let's not also forget Shannon Sharp had a pretty good career playing tight end.
Yeah, but again, John, I think the kicker for me is that he had two of the guys we're naming on the same team. One just happened to be a murderer. Again, that hurts the legacy.
I just feel like that does kind of hurt.
Yeah, it hurts the legacy, doesn't it? But how would he have known, John? I mean, there was whispers. Maybe there was whispers, maybe murmurs, but you couldn't have known that. Maybe you could have. I don't know. Maybe he didn't care. Maybe he was all about football guys.
And the other thing about it is, though, do you know what else makes a great tight end?
What's that?
A great quarterback, actually.
I tell you, Tom Brady and Gronk, the best teammates in the history of football.
Oh, the best teammates in the. Ooh,
I mean,
that's
best connection?
That is a great question.
Those guys'
Because
greatness is undisputed.
Their greatness is ridiculous. But don't forget, what about Troy Aikman and Jay Novacek?
Not as many Super Bowls, John. Rings plus minus,
No, I got to say that actually is probably one of the best things I've heard in a long time. But you will also forget, do you remember having VD?
Vernon Davis.
Yeah. Do you remember how great he was?
Yeah, I mean, Vernon Davis is incredible.
Alex Smith was actually really deadgum good when he had
Alex Smith
Vernon
could
Davis.
play, man.
Alex Smith could play. And he had one of the most gruesome injuries I've ever seen.
Okay, from that perspective, who's more responsible for the success of Gronk and Brady? Brady or Gronk? Or Belichick? Or a combination of all three?
I would say a combination of all three.
Okay, who's most responsible? If you just had to guess.
If I just had to guess, well, I'd say Bill Belichick for bringing the
Bringing
band
them together.
I mean,
That's a great point, Sean.
We also have to give Mo Lewis a lot of credrit for crushing Drew Bledsoe's
Drew
sternum.
Bledsoe, that's true.
Yeah,
took
that's
shot
a
on
big
Brady.
one. That's a huge one, actually.
Yeah.
What about Johnny Unitas and John Mackey? Thank you very much to a texter because I was not around in the 60s.
Neither was I, John, nor do I have a gauge of how good they were. But I'm sure they were great.
But I will say I heard they were extremely talented.
Yeah. Modern era, though, I mean, Brady and Gronk, the best teammates.
Brady and Gronk.
Who even competes? Jerry Rice and somebody?
Yeah, like Joe Montana.
Jerry
Rice and Steve Young.
I was about to say, you pick
They
the
are
quarterback.
wide receivers, though. But, I mean, he is a wide receiver.
Still teammates.
What about Drew Bledsoe, Jimmy Graham? How high are they up there?
Is that Drew Brees, Jimmy Graham?
What did I say?
Bledsoe.
Damn,
Not
I just talked
Patriot.
about him getting his
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think my brain is not working on anything but autopilot right now.
Well, but John, we're having a great football. This is fun, man. Talking about hypothetical, who's the best football.
Well, I've called Aaron Hernandez Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I mean, easy mistake. I do that all the
and
time.
I called Drew Brees Drew Bledsoe.
Well, you got Patriots on the mind.
Yeah. So, by the way, just kind of curious.
Yeah.
901-360-8255. What's your best quarterback tight end duo?
Yeah.
A lot of people right now that are young would probably say Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes.
I would just say two teammates, John. I mean, they're as dominant as any other two positions of teammates.
I don't know if you remember this guy, but do you remember a guy named Peyton Manning? Played good quarterback.
I recall Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, and Peyton Manning.
Well, I was going to say Dallas Clark because we're kind of talking about, tight ends.
I think Gronk and Brady can compete with any two teammates.
Would you give Greg Olson and Cam Newton any love?
Yeah, well, Cam Newton for a period of time was the best football
He was
player
an
I've ever
MVP,
seen.
buddy.
Best
an
I've ever
MVP.
seen.
How great was Olson?
I mean, he's so great he still talks on TV every game.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Oh, another great text.
Okay.
Dan Fouts, Kellen Winslow.
That's a good one too.
That's back at the Chargers days.
Yeah, a little early for me, but I do have a recollection of how good they were.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you, John. Okay,
Can I ask you one more question?
Please
though?
do. I would love it. I love this conversation.
Is John Elway and Shannon Sharp up there?
It has to be. John Elway, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game, and Shannon Sharp's one of the best tight ends to ever play the game.
What about Tony Romo and Jason Witten?
Yeah, but again, these guys are all in the conversation, but wouldn't you tank Gronk and Brady over all of them?
I would actually say I would take Gronk and Brady over all of them 100% for sure.
But they're in the conversation, and that's half the battle.
There's actually nobody as good. In fact, their relationship is so good that he can drunkenly throw the Lombardi Trophy over to Gronk, and he's still going to catch it.
He's still going to catch it. He almost didn't, though. It was a dangerous throw, man.
Almost does not count.
Horseshoes and hand grenades.
Horseshoes and hand grenades. By the way, almost with a hand grenade. I mean, I don't understand. I get the horseshoe thing, not really, because I don't know how to play horseshoes.
I think just closeness counts.
Like
if no
closeness
one gets a
counts?
horseshoe, yeah. Like, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Hand grenades at
Ooh, I
close
found it. I
counts
found
because
it.
you
I
don't have
found
to
it.
be right next to it.
Check out this.
Okay.
Here it is. The duo have 6 Super Bowls. They played in 6 Super Bowls, winning 4 together.
Gronk and Brady.
They played in 132 games. Gronk has 581 catches for 8,657 yards and 91 touchdowns. You know what? I think we just closed our case.
Yeah, they're the best.
They're the greatest quarterback tight end duo of all time.
Then now we have to move on to any 2 positions. It's hard to dispute.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Yeah, but undisputably quarterback and tight end. Anyway, John, next question before we run out of time here. Let's talk a brief question about the national championship, but in a weird way, okay? So we just saw North Carolina Duke. We both agree instant classic, right? Last night people were talking about North Carolina Kansas might have been an instant classic, but I dispute that North Carolina Duke was far better because they were making shots and winning plays at the end of North Carolina Duke, and they were making losing turnover missed shot plays at the end of North Carolina Kansas, John. So which was the better game? Carolina Duke or Carolina Kansas?
No, neither one of them for me.
What was the best game? Well, okay, give me that. Whatever you meant by that, go for it.
I mean, well, because I kept betting against North Carolina.
Oh, so you don't appreciate either game.
So I had Duke.
Screw both of them.
And they beat Duke heads up, so I lost that one. And then I had last night Kansas -4. They come all the way back, got a 3-point lead with the ball in 4.6 seconds, and they can't inbound the damn basketball. Listen.
She said screw all of them.
I will say, though, I think the better game.
Had to Carolina Duke.
Man, I don't know, bro. Yes, it was
just
back and
losing
forth. It
plays
was back
in this
and forth.
one.
But the comeback, like to come all the way back from 16 down. North Carolina was so hot, I was screaming to myself, I screwed this up because I said it was going to be a Manic Monday. And he was just stroker race.
It was a Manic
He was
Monday.
born to race. My man, Armando Bacot, was out of control in the first half.
Great defense, too, man.
It looked like the lid was closed on Kansas as well in the first half. They couldn't make a bunny to save their life.
No, you're right.
It was a wild game in the Natty.
The difference was that 8 turnovers and those 4 shots in the second half of North Carolina, because Kansas, when they got any turnover, any shot turnover, they were out, man. They were out like a dart. Transition buckets were nasty.
And the fact is, North Carolina Duke was great, but I still, even though I lost that game having Duke, it still felt good to watch the way it ended.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
It came down to the end.
You have a first loss in the ACC by Coach K.
Yeah.
North Carolina. Last one at Cameron by North Carolina. And then the last one of his career in the Final Four against North Carolina.
You think he comes back?
Yeah, right.
I mean, seriously, he can't, but you think he wants to?
No.
You don't think he wants to?
No.
Oh, this is, in K's mind, he's like, this is not the way it was supposed to go. I bet it's going to tear him up, man.
I mean, sure.
He just threw a year-long party for himself. Not disparaging him. I promise you, any coach in America, John, would do the same thing because they're all egotistical the way he is.
There's a lot of people that retired and they didn't do it like
but
that.
They're not Mike Krzyzewski, man.
So you're saying Dean Smith wasn't
No,
there
but that's
with Coach
a different era. In the modern era of college athletics. That's a good point. But if Roy could have, he would have.
Do you know where Roy Williams coached before he coached North Carolina?
KU.
Do you know who took over the job for Roy?
Hubert. Bill Self.
Bill Self. Do you know who took over the job in North Carolina?
Hubert.
So both of his guys were coaching against each other last night. I just thought about that.
That's crazy. You're right.
Wow.
But Bill Self really isn't on the coaching tree of Roy Williams.
Was he really rooting for North Carolina, or do you think he was in there jinxing them?
I don't think he was happy with the way it ended at Kansas, was he?
No.
I mean, I think he did leave on his own volition, but I don't think he was happy with the ending. But I could be wrong about that. I don't remember. Anyway, so you contend that North Carolina Kansas was a better game?
I contend because it was for all the marbles, because the epic collapse in the second half that North Carolina had to have to let Kansas back into it. The defensive plays that were made by KU were impressive. Yeah, coming back and closing that Jun out. The Mo after the first half, I didn't think there was any chance in the world Kansas was coming back to win that game.
Food for thought here as we go to break. maybe North Carolina Duke was like the miracle on ice. You know, the game that mattered to everybody, but it wasn't technically the championship game. You know, it was the game before the championship. Maybe the same thing in this NCAA tournament.
I told you yesterday I'm worried that North Carolina might have shot their load because they looked a little bit exhausted in the second half.
Hate to blow it too early.
Yeah, you hate to put everything in there and you got nothing left in the tank. And it felt like North Carolina coming down the stretch didn't have much in the tank. But I'll tell you one person that has a whole lot left in the tank because he can see his summer. He can know that after today he's probably going to be taking a nice long break, and that's David Cobb from CBSSports.com. He's next on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world at sports56whbq.com or on the Sports 56 app.
What's wrong, darling?
Work.
I thought you loved your job.
I do, but the boss put me in charge of his corporate luncheon. His bosses are coming. So now I got to figure out something about food.
Hey, have you called Charlie Robertson at Three Little Pigs?
I haven't, but that's a great idea.
That shoulder pack that we got for Mom and Dad's anniversary was killer, honey. And you get a half gallon of coleslaw, half gallon of cooked beans, and all the trimmings with the 24 buns and everything.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
You remember we took the kids there and we had so much fun, and the kids love the ribs and they don't even like ribs.
Oh, that catfish. Oh, yeah. Three Little Pigs. And I got all stressed out for nothing.
Three Little Pigs at the corner of White Station and Quince. A slow-cooked pork shoulder you can have on a sandwich, or you can even have it catered. Plus delicious grain-fed catfish that melts in your mouth. Three Little Pigs Country Breakfast. All the trimmings will get you ready for any day. Three Little Pigs Barbecue, where we serve no swine before it's time. 901-685-7094.
Hello, Batesville, Mississippi. It's Big Pop, inviting you to Mississippi's biggest and best gun shows. Big Pop Gun Shows will be in Batesville April 9th and 10th at the Batesville Civic Center, 290 Civic Center Drive. Saturday hours is 9 to 5, Sunday hours 10 to 5. Adult admission is $8, kids 6 to 11 is only $2. Buying, selling, trading, gun appraisals, over 250 tables of merchandise to see, the largest vendors around. Grab your $1 off coupon now at BigPopGunShows.com. All federal, state, and local laws must apply. See y'all this weekend.
This is Matt Crowder live at the gas station on 41st Street reporting on those skyrocketing gas prices. Excuse me, miss, are you buying less gas now because of the high prices?
Oh, I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Get Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute, are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Well, does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Get Upside app and get real cash back every time you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder, Radio News Network. Download the free Get Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PLAY for a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code PLAY for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code PLAY.
Grapevine Liquor and Wine has the largest selection of bourbon in North Mississippi and wines from all over the world. Let Jimmy the Delta Boy help you select the perfect spirit or wine to impress. Whether you're looking for the best price or a certain flavor profile, Grapevine Liquor and Wines has it. If you want good southern treatment and the hottest prices, Grapevine Liquor and Wine, Getwell Road, South Haven.
Hotty toddy, gosh almighty, where do you get your bourbon? Flim flam, bim bam, Grapevine, by damn.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by Memphis's only Top Golf Swing Suite at Erling Jensen Small Bites. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder is in the house. And we are going to talk right now some college basketball with our very own David Cobb. You can read all of his work at cbssports.com. You can listen to him every Monday and Tuesday, especially Tuesday at 11:30. I don't know if you know that, but I kind of like that time slot a lot. But David Cobb, he's going to join us, and we're going to talk about last night's amazing basketball game. Mr. Cobb, do you have anything left in the tank?
No, I don't. We've got all these NBA draft one-and-done kids declaring for the draft. I mean, that's what today is, So it's crazy because it just never stops. Nowadays with the portal, like I just filed a top 10 players in the portal type of thing, and that's only going to grow over the next few weeks. I feel bad for the coaches. Too, I feel bad for it. It used to be that in college basketball, you got your signing class in December, and then the roster management stuff was more or less done. You might have one or two players transfer out. You might have one or two guys test the NBA draft waters. But for the most part, in February, you could project what your roster was going to look like in October. You can't really do that anymore. So, I shouldn't complain. I'm sitting here writing about basketball, but I do feel bad for the coaches who just grind and grind and grind all year long during the season. And there's supposed to be that light at the end of the tunnel. And really all that happens is it goes from 80-hour work weeks for those guys to, the old 45 to 50-hour work week.
Yeah, it's a busy time. College sports is big business, and you can go to cbssports.com right now and check out. David's already dropped, like you said, ranking the top college hoops transfers in the 2022 offseason. You also have dropped KU students taking to the streets to celebrate the victory. In that celebration, did you see my man that was crowd surfing in a basically a grocery cart?
Yeah, he's the main character in that article, man. That's Just imagine, what if the Grizzlies win the NBA title? Just maybe here in a few months, like Beale Street. My goodness, the guys crowd surfing in shopping carts. That might look tame by comparison.
I'm trying to think though. What would we crowd surf in?
Well, I mean, you got to believe there would be several Elvis impersonators crowd surfing down Beale Street. Goodness, that would be
ride the roof of the trolley.
Oh, people would just be riding the roof of the trolley. I like that.
Yeah, people would just hijack the trolleys and just ride the roof for sure. I mean, I can't even begin to fathom. But yeah, it looks like a crazy scene in Lawrence last night. Pretty cool to see, and I'm glad they're celebrating it because the old hammer from the NCAA could be coming on this Kansas program. So,
you knew exactly where I was going, didn't you?
Well, I guess that's what everyone in Memphis is kind of waiting on as well. So it's nice to remember every once in a while that misery has company, and Kansas is certainly awaiting the gavel, much like Memphis is.
And by the way, they have level 1 violations Kansas does right now?
I'd have to double check it, but that sounds about right.
Yeah, I believe that's correct because I was reading a little bit about last night, but you never know how much I'm going to retain from last night till today. But I feel like Kansas winning. What is it that people should look at as a Memphis fan, and what should they take away from? Hey, Kansas just won it all, and they got 5 level 1 violations. People are also looking down at LSU. People have been looking all over the place and how the NCAA and the IARP and the arms that be come down on these programs. Memphis fans, what should they think?
I don't know. It's so hard to compare cases. The NCAA picks and chooses criteria that it deems to be relevant with cases, and it's hard to apply precedent from one case to another case. As simple as that may seem in the legal community, the NCAA does not operate within the acceptable standards of American jurisprudence. So there's really no telling. But just remember, man, Memphis is going to get hit, but so are some other big-time programs. And the thing is, I'd rather be Memphis probably than LSU. And what I mean by that is LSU has literally every single player from an NCAA tournament team in the transfer portal. And it has a completely overhauled coaching staff. And not because Will Wade's results on the court were unacceptable, but because they just couldn't hold on to him any longer. So I'd much rather be in Memphis' position than in LSU's. I mean, you're talking about two programs awaiting their judgment from the NCAA, but at least one, in the case of Memphis, seems resolved to, I would imagine, do everything it can to hold on to its coach and Penny Hardaway. And then at this point in time, it seems as though the roster will be reasonably intact next season. I mean, Landers Nolly has gone to the portal, and Timberlake and Minot and whatnot. They might all be headed to the exits, and that's no shock. But it seems like there should still be at least a little bit left in the cupboard for Penny next season. And if he can get some of these guys to commit, and then the NCAA doesn't drop the hammer until after the portal deadline, well, then all of a sudden whoever committed to you is kind of trapped, right? So only a few more weeks to go before that sort of milestone hits. And I think the Memphis roster could be in decent shape for next season, so long as they can avoid any punishment over the next month or so.
Why is it that Cody Topper left from one program with some clouds over his head to a program that looks like it's in complete disarray?
Well, I mean, you think about restarting the clock, right? And so, one, you never know what's going on behind the scenes within a given staff, and maybe it was just time for a fresh start. That's always a possibility. But then you look at McMahon, the new coach down at LSU, he is going to have an extensive clock, so to speak, in the sense that I think the AD down there, Scott Woodward, understands that Matt McMahon is going to need a long time to get that program rebuilt. If heaven forbid things were to really take a poor turn at Memphis, it's within the realm of possibility that Penny Hardaway's job could come into jeopardy either this off season or next. When you're facing level 1 violations, that's always a possibility. So if you're Topper, you go down to LSU and you get a contract with McMahon, who is going to be there for a long time. You kind of reset your clock and can breathe easy a little bit, knowing that you're on some stable footing. Even though that program as a whole is not even close to being stable at LSU, Topper's job should be much more stable, considering the fact that they're kind of starting over from scratch there.
Now, North Carolina and Kansas last night played for the Natty. Kansas fans have the 5-1 level 1 violations, 5 of them kind of hanging over their head. I'm kind of wondering what they're thinking about what's Bill Self's future. When on the other side, North Carolina, they didn't win the game, but it looks like they're in great hands with Hubert Davis. Who do you see over the next 5 years as having a better program?
Yeah, I mean, probably North Carolina, depending on what those sanctions are. If Kansas receives a postseason ban, that will set it back. I mean, Kansas will eventually return to a high level of national prominence, and they may not even fall off too far. I mean, think about it. Auburn underwent a postseason ban last season, and they were back to being the number 1 seed 1 year later. So there's really, I mean, unless you're talking about multiple years of a postseason ban and significant scholarship reductions, then it's going to be hard to handicap a program like Kansas. And so Kansas will be fine. But, I'll ride with North Carolina as being a program that's going to be better over the next few years, because I think Hubert Davis really over the last 6 weeks established that UNC is still a brand that's at the top of this sport. And considering that they're not facing looming sanctions, I think they're going to be in a better spot moving forward. So we'll see what he does this offseason. It's going to be interesting to see if Davis becomes a portal guy or if he tries to go out and be the guy who lands all the 5-star prospects. It was kind of unclear towards the end of Roy Williams' tenure what his MO was in terms of landing players. I mean, he got Cole Anthony for sure, and Baycott was highly touted, signed under Roy Williams, but the recruiting battles were not going UNC's way as often as you might have expected for that program. So can Hubert kind of change the fortunes there, or does he go heavy on the portal? Because look at Brady Manick. Look at Remy Martin on the other side last night, how big he was. So that's going to be my next sort of point of curiosity with North Carolina, is looking to see what Hubert Davis does from a roster management perspective and what his philosophy is in that regard.
Now, just speaking about the game last night, was that an epic comeback by Kansas or a horrible collapse by North Carolina?
No, you give the credit to Kansas on that. I didn't think North Carolina would even have as much in the tank as it did. The fact that North Carolina led that game by 16 points at one point, and the fact that Armando Baycott just bullied David McCormick on one leg in the first half. I mean, incredible effort from UNC. Everybody wrote them off. I didn't think they would cover. They covered. So that's not what they were going for. But, I mean, you got to salute North Carolina. What Kansas did in the second half was Kansas being elite. And Kansas was not elite all season. They were good, and then they were given a really easy path in the NCAA tournament. And they showed glimpses of that type of ability in the second half against Miami in the Elite Eight, and then in the first half against Villanova in the Final Four. And then they showed it again in the second half against North Carolina. So it's odd to say that a team that just won the national championship really never put it all together, but I think you can reasonably say that about Kansas because Remy Martin was in and out of the lineup, never fully gelled with this team, came up big in the end. But
I
then
still couldn't believe the threes he was making. I mean, you got the one that came off the glass, and the next thing you know, he's hitting corner threes like it's going out of style.
Unbelievable. And then Agbaji he won the MOP, but I didn't think he was even close to his best.
Couldn't make
night.
A free throw.
So it's odd. Like it still doesn't feel like Kansas played its best game at any point in the NCAA tournament. It still feels like there's another level that team could hit. But fortunately for them, their path was such that they never had to hit on all cylinders for all 40 minutes of a given game. I mean, their path was so easy. They started out with a 16. And in the second round, they played a Creighton team that was down 2 starters due to injury. And in the Sweet 16, they played a Providence team that was really poorly rated by all the statistical analytics sites. And then in the Elite Eight, they got a number 10 seed in Miami. Final Four, they get a Nova team that had just lost Justin Moore. And then they play an 8 seed in the national title game with Baycott on one leg. I mean, what a remarkably easy path for Kansas. You still got to give them credit for getting it done, but man, that path was paved with gold for the Jayhawks.
Yeah, it really was. But you know what? At the end of the year, they holding up the Natty. Best player on the court in the NBA. Like, who do you think is going to be the best pro from the Kansas-North Carolina game?
Yeah, let's see. That's a great question. I would say Ochai Agbaji. He didn't show it last night, so if you're basing your read on him off the one game that you watched from Kansas this season, and that one game was last night, you probably don't understand what I'm talking about. But the fact is, he is an athletic and rangy 6'5" wing who is also a really good defender in addition to being a quality three-point shooter. So I think he is a plug-and-play NBA player next season. There's some other guys who participated in that game last night who will play in the NBA, but I think you're looking at a longer run of development being needed for most of the other players. Agbaji, I think you can put him in an NBA game tomorrow, bring him off the bench, let him play 17 or 18 minutes, and he could go 3 for 6 from three-point range and shut down an opposing team's best offensive player for a few minutes. I mean, I think that's the type of player that he already is, given the fact that he's developed and progressed over a 4-year time span, at Kansas.
Are you surprised that Kansas was able to actually close the deal out, having to come back from 16 while not getting to the line that much? And when they did get to the line, they couldn't make their free throws last night. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was. But not shocked. I think in the end, a deeper Kansas team, certainly than North Carolina. And I will say I was surprised by who the hero was. David McCormick has been so up and down throughout his Kansas career. And he was so up in the Final Four game against Villanova, 25 points, 9 rebounds, season high in terms of offensive production.
Did it on like 12 shots, right?
Yeah, he just dominated Villanova on the inside. And then in the first half, he just got worked by Armando Baycott, who was, as we mentioned, playing on one leg. And then all of a sudden in the second half, he comes out, finishes that lob dunk from DeJuan Harris in the first possession of the second half. And then in the end, he hit the go-ahead shot and then the one that put him up by 3. So just an incredible moment for David McCormick, who, I mean, I was telling my buddies last night, I was like, man, if I were a Kansas fan, I would not love David McCormick because he's just so up and down, and you just never know what you're going to get from the guy. But in the end, he was the hero, in my opinion, of the Kansas team that just won a national title. So say what you want about the guy's career. It was certainly it had its ups and downs, but it ended on the highest possible note that a college basketball player could ask for.
Yeah, it was actually a wild game. It was a good Final Four. More exciting for you, Jay asked me this, watching UNC Kansas or UNC Duke?
I didn't think that the UNC Kansas would be able to compete with UNC Duke. Ultimately, it did. And I think I might have to give the nod to UNC Kansas last night because the game came down to the final shot. Mm-hmm. Caleb Love hits that three at the buzzer. We're going to OT. And so the Duke-UNC game ended up being a 4-point game that didn't come down to the final possession. And given the fact that it was the largest comeback in national title game history,
yep.
I mean, dang, that Final Four game was awesome on Saturday, but Monday night delivered as well. And I think this Final Four as a whole has to be in the conversation for, it's hard to rank. It's hard to know. I wasn't alive for most of them, but maybe the best Final Four of all time.
Whoa. Follow him at David W. Cobb on the Twitter. Read all of his work at cbssports.com. And make sure you tune in every single Tuesday at 11:30. And you join my buddy Gabe and Stats on Mondays, 4?
Yes, sir.
Man, I don't know how my memory works this well sometimes. Cobb, be blessed out there and try to get a little rest, my friend.
All right, I appreciate it.
That is David Cobb, cbssports.com. We're going to have to take a break, but before we do, I'm just kind of curious. Are you hungry? It's almost noon, man. It's getting close. Do you want to play a little golf? You can kill 2 birds with 1 stone while having an extraordinary food and beverage service. Yes, I'm talking about 5069 Sanderland, right there at the Doubletree, East Memphis. I'm talking about Erlen Jensen Small Bites, where Memphis's only Topgolf swing suite are located. You go get great food, you get great service, and you can play in a one-in-a-kind simulation bay. You can play golf. It's fun for golfers and non-golfers alike because you don't just have golf. You have baseball, basketball, football, soccer, zombie dodgeball, carnival games. Check it out online at swingsuitememphis.com or give them a call and book your suite today at 901-58-SWING. This is Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
The all-new Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Brought to you by Action 24/7, James Gaddis Jewelers, and Acura of Memphis. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10 right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
If you have damage to your home and have your insurance carrier involved, you need a great contractor. You also need a team that has seen claims of all shapes and sizes, residential or commercial. After our inspection, we'll share our findings and give you our professional opinion. Some people say you get what you pay for. However, our opinion is free. Trust the name you can depend on, like the tens of thousands of families Brian and I have served over the past 20 years here in the Mid-South. Brian Elder Roofing. We'll measure your roof from outer space and share our team's experience for your property and claim. Repaired roofs, replacement roofs, big roofs, tiny roofs, insurance roofs, flat roofs, TPO roofs, asphalt roofs, tile roofs, slate roofs, metal roofs. If your roof needs some love, call me. 901-867-0303 for Brian Elder Roofing and Contracting.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Swerving, speeding, and reckless driving can leave you in your own dust. Drag racing has its consequences. You can lose your driving privileges, your vehicle, face jail time, or even lose or take a life. So slow down, Memphis. The life you save may be your own. Brought to you by the Memphis Police Department, Traffic Operations.
Add a little excitement to your sports watching experience by betting on all the action on FanDuel Sportsbook. There's a reason why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Their app is simple to use. They've got great odds on all different betting markets, unique, fun bet types like same-game parlay, and exclusive, always-on promotions such as enhanced odds boosts on the biggest events to let you get more action out of every game day. And if you win, they even get you your winnings safely in as little as 24 hours. If you've never tried FanDuel Sportsbook, what are you waiting for? Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started and be sure to sign up with promo code CASH so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code CASH. Must be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required.
Bonus issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
Hey, if you're hungry for great Mexican food for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, got it. La Guadalupana. Guadalupana. Choose from tacos, burritos, enchiladas, sizzling shrimp, beef, or chicken fajitas, and even a Cuban sandwich filled with Mexican sauces, chicken, ham, steak, jalapenos, avocado, and more. How about super nachos topped with melted cheese, beans, sour cream, guacamole, tomato, and jalapenos? All great with nice cold beer, domestic and imported. Good prices, generous portions, great service at 2 locations, Summer Avenue and Cordova Road. La Guadalupana.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by Memphis's only Top Golf Swing Suite at Erling Jensen Small Bites. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder is in the house. Thank you to David Cobb for joining us from CBSSports.com. We talked a little bit about the North Carolina-Kansas basketball game last night. Kansas came back, raced a 16-point deficit. They did it. It's still unbelievable what I saw it. But I will say, am I the only person out there still a little bit agitated? They could not inbound the basketball, get fouled, and go make a couple free throws down the stretch. Now, I know they shot 57% from the line, only 8 of 14 the entire night. But don't you feel like up 3, he would have gone down there and sunk those junts and I would have covered? Or at least got 1 out of 2 and jacked?
You know what, John? Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know if he would have got 2.
I don't know. Well, I would have jacked if he at least got 1, and so I would have won the under and
That's
jacked
right.
the other one, so it would have been a win-win instead of juicing out.
That's right.
Now, I got a weird question for you.
Juicing out.
A lot of people, again, do you believe, what is the most, out of all the sports, football, I'm talking about college sports.
Okay.
Which one do you think is the dirtiest?
I have no gauge for football or baseball, but I can say with absolute certainty basketball would disgust even the nastiest people in the world.
I mean, Kansas, like I said, they won it all. They have 5 level 1 violations hanging over their head. We saw Coach K go out. He was able to do it on top. We've got crazy, like the FBI, it feels like is involved with college basketball
Excellent point.
than any other sports. Like, I don't know how many times I've been like, oh, yeah, FBI's got him on a wiretap.
FBI came by today.
No, FBI came by today. They're checking everything out, except for when they're talking about some college basketball situations.
That's
and
exactly right.
a lot of news in college basketball today. Poor David Cobb will not get any rest. You got those who are entering the transfer portal. You got stars like Jabari Smith going out there and saying he's going to the NBA. Not shocked, since I said he was going to be the first player basically picked in the NBA draft. I still believe that.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good bet.
Pretty good bet?
I mean, it's either him or Paolo, I would guess, but I like Jabari as well. But, I think you probably couldn't go wrong either way.
Does Walker Kessler, who's also played with that team in Auburn, that basically did not live up to expectations, we'll say, do you think he has a place? Because, he's also entered the NBA draft. Some people are saying that he's a first-round pick. I mean, he is, 7 feet tall, 7'1"?
Yeah, I mean, my gauge for if he's a first-round pick is probably is anybody's guess. But I mean, his ceiling is not necessarily very high. But I think he could make a difference pretty immediately, almost immediately. But his ceiling again is not very high.
Blocking some shots. Doing a little.
People are convinced he moves well enough to play defense at the 5. I would like to see it first. I'd like to see what he does at the combine, to be honest. Not that, I always make fun of the football combine for measuring all that stuff, but I actually care about it a little bit for basketball. Maybe it's because I know basketball and I don't know anything about football.
You don't know anything about football?
I know football, but I know the players and the teams and who's winning and losing. But in terms of what I'm in terms of what the scouts are looking at, I don't know anything about football.
Well, I don't know a whole lot about golf, but I do know that the Masters is happening this week. We got the par 3 tomorrow. I do know that Tiger Woods came out today and said, guess what? He's planning on playing. So now that Tiger Woods is going to be in the field, are you more excited about watching a little golf or opening day in baseball?
Opening day in baseball, John.
Whoa.
I think Masters is overrated. I said it yesterday. I'm not I think Augusta National is too big for its britches.
So do you know who has opening day today?
Who?
Is
Nobody.
Nobody?
It's Thursday, right? Is somebody opening day today?
When did the Redbirds start off?
Oh, the Birds are opening today. The AAA baseball Birds.
I thought that you would know that as well as anybody.
Well, I did, but I thought we were talking about Major League Baseball. No, the Birds do start their season today. I believe Matt Liberatore on the bump for the Birds tonight. Top prospect, baby.
Oh, yes. The Birds are opening up today. A little rain earlier today.
Oh, but it'll clear up,
It's
John.
a little wet. It's going to clear up. It's going to be beautiful tonight.
Hopefully it's not the same grounds crew that was working for the Ole Miss Memphis game.
Oh, the one that made sure that we couldn't play?
Where as they were pulling the tarp off the field, they created a puddle in the infield.
Yeah. It was
That's
very
a shame.
Hey, man.
Hate to
By
see
the
that
way,
happen.
just so you know, not everybody can be perfect.
Nobody's perfect, John. We're all just working on ourselves.
Nobody's perfect. Y'all remember that.
It's a good lesson.
It's a great life lesson. It really is. You know what? But I will say, do you know I know somebody that's close to perfect? Do you know who they
John?
are? The clothes at Frontier Western Store. And let's just be honest with you. How are they not going to be perfect? Because, well, you're going to pick them out, and they have all the designers. They have all the waist sizes. They have all the shoes. They have everything you need. And it's not just for you. They have everything you need for yourself and your whole family, maybe some friends. Head on down to 5880 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch. Open 9 to 7 Monday through Saturday, 1 to 6 on Sunday, or shop 24/7, 365 at FrontierWesternStore.com. Coming up next, we're talking with Gabe Kuhn at noon on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
I have so many people tell me they hear my ads on this station and that they want to know if I'm really as bad a golfer as everyone says. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors, and yes, I hate to say I am. I wish I were in my 90s because I could then tell people I shoot my age. But being a bad golfer is not terrible because I devote so much of my time to selling homes to keep my clients happy. Over the many years in the real estate business, I developed a highly successful strategic marketing program, not merely a listing program. Using preparation, presentation, and proper pricing, it works. If you're thinking of selling, talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers and make sure that I am one of them. Find out why people often say that when you want the job done, call Shell Dunn. That's Shell Dunn Rosengarten, 483-0546 or MemphisRelocate.com. Do it now. Shell Dunn, 483-0546 or MemphisRelocate.com.
Hello, Batesville, Mississippi. It's Big Pop, inviting you to Mississippi's biggest and best gun shows. Big Pop Gun Shows will be in Batesville April 9th and 10th at the Batesville Civic Center, 290 Civic Center Drive. Saturday hours is 9 to 5, Sunday hours 10 to 5. Adult admission is $8, kids 6 to 11 is only $2. Buying, selling, trading, gun appraisals, over 250 tables of merchandise to see. The largest vendors around. Grab your $1 off coupon now at BigPopGunShows.com. All federal, state, local laws must apply. See y'all this weekend.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
So you need to sell your house? I have the solution. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Any house, any area, as is. It's literally as simple as that. Just pick up your phone. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your house fast, call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder's in the house with me. Thank you very much to David Cobb of CBSSports.com who came on. We talked a lot of basketball, talked transfer portal, NCAA violations. Kansas won the Natty. They got 5 level 1 violations hanging over their head. What's going to happen in the future? I don't know because I'm not you can't really read the tea leaves.
Who are you, Nostradamus? You know?
I'm definitely not Nostradamus. Man, that name I couldn't even spell. Can you spell it?
I don't think I can.
I don't either. Yeah, it'd kind of be bad if that was our name. We couldn't even spell our own name.
No, I think I can spell it, actually.
I know a guy that can spell his own name. That would be Gabe Kuhn. Even if it's Dale, he could still spell Dale the week that I called him that. Gabe, how are you doing, my friend?
Man, I'm hanging in there. No longer Dale, though. I'm glad we have come so far from that.
Dude,
Johnny.
think about that.
That was something.
That was something. Did you ever just go home and be like, is he just an idiot, or is he calling me Dale because he thinks it's funny?
I honestly didn't even peep that you were calling me Dale that whole time. I just sort of, I figured 4-letter name, sounds similar. I just let it roll off my back, basically. I didn't know it.
Good job, by the way. Very proud of you. Very proud of you. Speaking of things that I'm proud of, I was proud of Kansas for about 2 seconds last night because I had Kansas -4, Gabe, just to set the stage.
Oh,
they were down by 16, yes, and they have this unbelievable comeback, and I'm like, oh, my gosh. And then they're up 3, 4.6 seconds left on the clock. They inbound the basketball. My man steps out of bounds. We're not shooting free throws. My heart is completely ripped out. Is that one of the more painful losses that you've heard?
That's pretty bad. It almost seems like you wanted overtime there at the end.
At the very end, I just wanted to cry, to be honest with you. But I will.
Yeah, that's rough. I don't know how he put himself in that position though to step out.
I don't either.
In that situation, he had plenty of room. Just get fouled and go to the line, move on with your life.
No kidding. And then we're all dancing in the street, partying.
Exactly.
You know, but they did party like
all these. I saw like 15 different people that had the exact score last night, 72-69, that bet on it for whatever those odds are, plus 21,000, whatever it is.
Oh my gosh,
that would be a nice win.
That would be a nice little chunk of change right there. That really would. But before we talk a lot of football, before we talk opening day baseball, I'm sure you're excited about your St. Louis Cardinals, who got Albert Pujols back. Before we get on to that, I just wanted to ask you, what did you think about the Final Four? When you watched that game in the first half, I thought it was going to be a manic Monday. Brady Manic was out of control. You had Armando Bacot was absolutely controlling McCormick. Everything it seemed like North Carolina was doing was turning to gold. Even Caleb Love made a couple shots in the first half. Felt bad for him because he was such a vital part of that team to make this run. He really struggled shooting the ball last night, 1 for 8 from downtown. How in the heck, did North Carolina, and for a lack of better terms, did they shoot their load in that Duke game and just not have enough left in the tank, or did Kansas come back and steal it?
That in the first half of the national championship, they sort of blew all they had, and I don't really know what to say about it besides the fact that I knew going into last night's game that R.J. Davis or Caleb Love had to show up and show out. And they both had a tough night from the field. Both had double-digit scoring nights. That's what they do. But the guard play
they couldn't shoot a 3 to save their life. I think they were 1 for 13 combined.
Yeah, they were 1 for 13 combined, and I knew the guard play had to be good, and it wasn't quite up to snuff because Kansas just has so much in the grand scheme of things. Agbaji, Brown, Remy Martin off the bench, Harris sometimes is pretty solid, even though he stepped out of bounds there at the end. I knew the guard play had to be good for North Carolina to win that game. It just came up short. And Caleb Love at the end. The one thing that was bizarre is those last 2 possessions for North Carolina were just bad in every way.
Are you surprised Hubert Davis didn't call a timeout, set something up?
I'm surprised nothing was really drawn up. And I know on that last play where they had to heave it up and it was an air ball, Brady Manick fell running into the corner. Maybe they had a play drawn up for him to get a 3 off. But either way, those last 2 possessions, they got gifted one there with Harris stepping out. Those last 2 possessions were just ugly basketball.
Yeah, it really was. But the tournament itself was a lot of fun. I mean, we had the big upsets from St. Peter's knocking off Kentucky, Murray State, and Purdue. You had just a very crazy one, but it became a very blue blood Final Four.
Yep.
And outside of Villanova just not having enough, when Moore went down, they just did not have enough to compete with Kansas. But that North Carolina Duke game was out of control. And then last night, largest comeback. I have to say, Final Four was a huge success, even though I didn't make any money off of it.
You didn't make any money off of it, Johnny? Seriously?
I made a lot off the women's tournament.
Oh, okay. So you must have bet South Carolina as a natty, huh?
Of course, dude. Are you joking?
Yeah.
That was
Shout
easy
out
money.
Shout out Dawn. But yeah, I thought the tournament was an overwhelming success. I still want to see the numbers on the Final Four game, on the Duke North Carolina game, because I would imagine that those trump anything we saw. Maybe the national championship got up to that, but that Duke North Carolina game couldn't have been more perfectly timed, and we should have all known, based on the fact that this was Coach K's last year, his swan song, that it would end up that way. But it also is kind of funny, the side story of Roy Williams leaving unceremoniously after last year's season, and somehow that national championship had his imprint all over it with both the coaches. Bill Self follows him at Kansas. Hubert Davis follows him at North Carolina. Bill Self gets that win right in front of him. So I just thought, I thought altogether we had our first 15 seed make it to the Elite Eight. I thought overall the tournament was well done and relatively unpredictable up until the very end.
And the reason I kind of wanted to ask you that is because I love sports 24/7, it seems like. But I will be honest with you. December college basketball can sometimes be a little painful. Heck, early January college basketball is painful. But once March hits, because of the tournament, it becomes addicting. It's like, how did I go through December and January and not just gobble all this up?
Well, it's different. Well, because at that time, not everybody's season is on the line. But you get into March Madness, and you know one team has to go home, one team's going to be elated to be able to get a win. So it means more at that time of the year. And I always caution people with December and January when we get into that type of basketball, don't take it too seriously. Because think about a team like North Carolina at that time. They were floundering. They were not looking all that good in their
Hubert Davis, remember, was too nice of a guy to be a head college basketball coach.
Exactly, and I remember there was a time when Hubert Davis was being grouped in with all of the coaches that were back at their alma mater. Patrick Ewing, Penny, Juwan Howard. They were talking about how much of an underachiever he was about halfway through the season. He certainly put that to bed. But yes, I mean it's interesting, to say the least, and now that it's over, we're just a season closer to football, Johnny.
Yes,
How about
we
that?
are. And I got a lot of football stuff to get into today. Got some stuff about basically the Eagles with their moves yesterday. It seems like they're basically putting Jalen Hurts on notice. Son, it is not about the future with you. Maybe they're looking for some more picks in next year's draft class. It's supposed to be a little bit stronger than what we got going on right now. We got the draft, by the way. I think it's the last week of April, like April 28th. You got the NFL draft coming. But I got to talk about this week particularly. Last night we had the championship game. On Thursday, Tiger Woods is going to tee it up at the Masters. And we're going to have opening day baseball. Is this one of the greatest week, if not the greatest week in sports?
Oh, it's great. It's great. I'm telling you, my co-host, y'all know him, Brett Norsworthy, my man Stats, on Thursday, he might levitate. He might levitate when he sees Albert Pujols get his first AB as a Cardinal in his final year and Tiger Woods tee it up in Augusta. That might be. I mean, I don't know if he can come on the radio that next day. I think it'll be the emotions will be running too high.
I was actually watching a little bit before you came on. Albert Pujols. Cardinals are playing the Marlins, a little spring training. Albert was at the DH, 0 for 2 today. But Cardinals are up 3-0 on the Marlins.
Okay. So it's kind of funny when you talk to Cardinals fans about the whole Albert Pujols thing. It's like everybody loves it just for the nostalgia part of it. Were there better? I don't know if there were better options they could have gone and got for their DH position. But seemingly you could have gotten a younger guy who may be able to produce a little better. But I think everyone's on board with one more year of Albert, having him, Adam Wainwright, who will be the opening day starter, and Yadier Molina for one more year is just that's for Cardinals fans. It's too big to pass up. Too much history there.
Too much history there. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait for opening day. But if we're going to talk Cardinals real quick, go back to some crazy stuff. I don't know where my brain's at today, Gabe. Sorry. If we're going to talk about the Cardinals, everybody thinks about the infield, Arenado, Goldschmidt. People are talking about Albert Pujols. Could Tyler O'Neill sneakily possibly be the best player on that team? I look at him and think to myself, he's Matt Holliday, but with more skill. I think he could be a top 15 outfielder in all of baseball this year.
Yeah, from a hitting perspective, we know he's not great in the field. He's not necessarily a plus defender by any stretch of the imagination. But here's the thing with him is I want to see it for another year. Last year was sort of his breakout. We got to see what he was capable of. Still strikes out quite a bit, as guys do. But I'll take 286 with 34 bombs any single year, any day of the week. I personally, I want to see it from him another year. I want to see if he can produce again. But I like his upside, and I like what he could do. He's got a whole lot of pop.
He does, and he's got a lot of speed. A lot of people don't realize how fast that man can actually run. First, because he's so deadgum yoked. You're like. Mm-hmm. Like, he's only 5'10", but he's like, what, 215? He's a little yoked dude. But anyway, I've been talking baseball with you just because baseball will be here. I'm fired up for it. And then last but not least, how much of the Masters would you have watched if Tiger Woods was not playing?
I'd still watch a fair amount. It's the Masters. It's one of the majors that we actually have to pay attention to. So I still would have watched a fair amount, but I'll tell you, I will watch a lot more. And also, did you see Tiger's practice round yesterday?
I saw the highlights from some of it.
Did you see the crowd?
Oh yeah, it was insane.
That was fun. That was pretty insane. It looked like it was a Sunday crowd on for a practice round. That was something.
Now, Gabe, it's time to talk a little bit of football. We are talking again at noon with Gabe Kuhn. You can listen to him though from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday on Sports Time with Brett Norsworthy. Philadelphia Eagles. They did a little trade situation. I don't know if you saw this.
Sure.
They traded with New Orleans, a whole lot of this and a whole lot of that. It's basically draft picks. So right now, here's how it works. And again, for me, the first thing that I saw when I saw this, it makes me think that Jalen Hurts, hey, you know what? We're not necessarily married to him. We'll give him another chance to go out there and have a good season, hopefully improve. But to trade away 2 of their first-rounders in this year's April draft, number 16 and 19, along with 194 to New Orleans in exchange for picks number 18, 101, and 237 this year. But I think the key is they get another first-round pick in the 2023 draft and a second one in 2024. So they're going to have 2 picks in the 2023 draft next year. 2 first-rounders usually equal, hey, let's package those things up and go get a quarterback. Do you see that? Do you see what I'm seeing, or am I reading way too much into the tea leaves?
No, I see what you're seeing with the Eagles, but on the other side, in the more immediate future, what I see is the Saints with Dennis Allen still think they can go for it. That's what it tells me. They have issues with cap space. They're missing a couple of pieces, namely, I mean, at the quarterback position, but they're going to see what Jameis Winston can do for another year. He was pretty good until he got hurt last year. But them going and trading for 2 picks here in the first round this year shows me that they think they can get a couple of pieces that put them over the edge there in the NFC South. So I certainly see what you're saying too from the other side of it. The Eagles, they wouldn't mind competing this year, but I don't think they have that win now mentality. I don't think they're thinking Jalen Hurts is going to get them to the promised land. So I think they're waiting around some of those first-round picks and future drafts. I think the thought process there about a quarterback makes a whole lot of sense, considering I'm still, even after the pre-draft process, after all we've seen from the quarterbacks this year, I'm still not enthused.
Yeah, I can feel you on that one. Definitely can feel you on that one. It's going to be weird, though. You watch. One of these quarterbacks is going to come out and be a baller this year. You watch.
We're talking about the chances are pretty high that one of them gets some good time and gets a chance to sort of shine. And I just don't know who that's going to be right this second. I think Malik Willis, Desmond Ridder, those two guys in particular have some time that they need under their belt to sort of develop. Matt Corral, I've been so confused on.
Tiny hands.
Isn't it bizarre? Matt Corral, through this process, it feels like he is, in a lot of ways, not been talked about at all. Feels like a lot of people have forgotten about him, but Matt Corral's still there. I think he has a chance. I think Tiny Hands, believe it or not, Kenny Pickett, Tiny Hands has the best shot immediately to make an impact, but we'll see.
Speaking of quarterbacks, where in the heck is Mr. What was he, a progressive guy? Baker Mayfield. Where's he going to be?
Ooh, Johnny, that's a tough one.
Is he going to be a starter in the NFL next year?
I don't see why not. I don't see why somebody couldn't take him on a one-year rental to see if he could make something happen. But I look around the NFL, and here's my question too: if you're another team in the NFL, who do you want more? Do you want him or do you want Jimmy G? In my mind, I think you would want Jimmy G. I know that you have the shoulder injury issue, but Jimmy G has shown with the right pieces around him that he can make it into a Super Bowl. He can make it into a championship, an NFC championship. So I just sort of wonder. I guess for a guy like Baker, you're looking at some of the, I hate to say it, you're looking at some of the worst teams in the NFL as landing spots in a lot of ways. Like the Giants would be one that kind of makes sense for him. They're about to move off of Daniel Jones. Could he fit into that system? The Lions, I know they're with Jared Goff. I know they already have another number one overall selection that they tried to make happen last year there with Jared Goff, and he was okay, but he's not doing anything special for them. That could be another landing spot. But
Seattle likes small-statured quarterbacks.
Personally, I don't know, Johnny. I don't think Baker Mayfield. I just don't know if his around the league, if he's thought as highly as he thinks of himself.
I am 100% with you on that. It's just a whole weird situation. We'll also be watching Cleveland because of the Deshaun Watson saga as it continues to unfold. But if you look at the Dolphins, do they believe that either the hammer's going to come down after the Brian Flores situation, or are they just trying to pretend that they're going to be contenders in the AFC East? Because they do have a really good defense. They're signing people to some fat contracts, and they brought in some dead-gum weapons for Tua. Are the Dolphins actually going to compete, or is this just a smokescreen?
No, I think they'll compete. I do. When you talk about the AFC East, though, you're in a weird spot where I think there's one team that absolutely will win that division. And I don't think there's any debate there on who will win that division. It's the Buffalo Bills.
New York Jets, man.
And then outside of that, you have the Jets who can't compete. I think the Patriots and Dolphins are on very similar ground right now. I think the Patriots and Dolphins have put themselves in the position to be the second team and be a playoff team, but we'll see who actually breaks through. For the Patriots, I want to see what Mac Jones, what development looks like. What does year 2 with Mac Jones look like? Does it look any better than year 1? They sort of dumbed down the offense for him, made it nice for him. Can year 2, can he come out any better? But you look at what the Dolphins have. They went and got Chase Edmonds. They got Tyreek Hill. Jalen Waddle had a really good first year. Defensively, they have just about everything you want. Emmanuel Ogbah coming off the edge, Xavier Howard, Eric Rowe, Byron Jones. They've paid a lot of money on that defensive side of the ball, but let's be honest about it. And I think as far as their O-line, they tried to bolster it. That was their big sort of weakness last year. They went and got Connor Williams and Teron Armstead. The one thing, though, it hinges on is what is Tua Tagovailoa going to look like? Is he going to be able to get the ball to Tyreek Hill? Is he going to be able to move that offense? And now, does he have the best shot he'll ever have this year? Yes. But can he do it? That's the question you have to ask yourself with the Dolphins. And right now, I'm not betting on him. Week 1, week 2, he could show me something different.
Which quarterback from Alabama has the better one? Both are in the AFC East. The New England Patriots, of course, Mac Jones had a good rookie season. Tua came out with more expectations. It's been very hit or miss. But Mac Jones now has one of Tua's former weapons in Devontae Parker. You hook him up with, Jacoby Myers, Kendrick Bourne, Johnny, Hunter
that.
Henry.
I love
what?
That. I love that where we name those weapons, where it's like Devontae Parker, Jonnu Smith. On any other team, those guys aren't talked about very much, but it's the Patriots, and they haven't had weapons in quite a while at this point, so we act like those weapons are the greatest thing ever. But no, to answer your question, I think Mac Jones is a better Alabama quarterback. I do. I think he makes better decisions with the ball. He can't really move that much, but he doesn't need to. He's statuesque there in the pocket, and it's a perfect fit with the Patriots because Dante Scarnecchia has been that O-line coach there for years and years and years, and he knows exactly how to keep a statuesque quarterback upright. He's done it a million times through Tom Brady, through Jimmy G, through Matt Castle, now Mac Jones. I mean, he's done it over and over again. So I think the system's good for Mac Jones as well. But the problem with Tua is I remember sort of the narratives coming out of college were that he's this gunslinger. He can swing, he really can throw it downfield, yada, yada, yada. We found out that that's not true. His arm's not that good. And Mac Jones, one of the obvious knocks was his arm's not that good. But if we're looking at it from a Tua versus Mac point, who has the better arm? Who is more of the gunslinger? Because I don't know if it's Tua. I don't know if I can just give him that. And if you look at their 1 year, Tua sort of 1.5 years there at Bama, and you look at Mac's 1 year at Bama, I thought Mac, from a production standpoint, was substantially better. And I could make the argument, too, that Tua had better weapons around him at that time, although Mac had good weapons as well. It was just deeper with Tua. So I would lean Mac Jones as the better Alabama quarterback.
I'm with you on this. The one thing I look around, though, it's just, Tua, he's got that one thing. He can throw a 6-yard slant. Tyreek Hill can take it 60 yards to the house, or Jalen Waddle can do the same thing. Mike Gesicki's going to be a big target around the red zone. And, again, I was kind of making fun of it because I look over at the weapons in New England, and I say to myself, damn, man, Bill Belichick, it's like he's not even trying. Remember, he actually had Aaron Hernandez and Gronk on the same team, bro.
Here's my problem, though, too. Like, Tyreek Hill, I know you're talking about a slant. He could run it for 70 yards. But a lot of what Tyreek Hill did with Patrick Mahomes, let's think about it. Off-platform, downfield, Patrick Mahomes was slinging it 50 yards downfield, off-platform to Tyreek Hill to make something happen, right? He was forced out of the pocket. He made something happen that way. Tua's not that type of guy.
Nope.
Tua's not going to be able to make those plays happen. So it's going to have to be on platform. And I don't know, and I know Tyreek Hill's a heck of a deep threat with his speed. I mean, just world-class track speed. But can Tua push it downfield far enough to take advantage of it? I'm not sure. Now, I respect the hell out of the Dolphins for trying to go compete with Tua, but Tua's going to have to show me before I believe in it.
I will talk everything sports with Gabe Kuhn because I listen to him every day from 3 to 6, and him and Brett cut it up on everything from golf and Tiger Woods all the way to college basketball. And then I think the thing that you're best on is college football. We'll talk more about that down the future, but the NFL draft is coming up. Basketball just ended, and I can't wait for baseball and the Masters on Thursday. Be blessed. You going down to the Red Zone, the Redbirds Park? You know, they're opening up their season today.
Yes, sir. Will I see you down there?
I don't know. You know, I'm trying to get ready to go out of town. Usually I'd be there. It'd be one of the first times I haven't been to an opening day in a long time, but also did move out from downtown. Gabe, be blessed out there, my friend.
Be easy.
That's Gabe Kuhn. And don't forget another thing, Tito's Handmade Vodka. If life hands you lemons, all you have to do is make a lemon drop. Make sure it's with Tito's Handmade Vodka. And right now, you want some vodka that comes out of the United States? Well, I got that brand. Tito Beverage came out with a 100% gluten-free, corn-based vodka. He decided to distill it, which is a rare thing on the vodka scene. He's done this down in Austin, Texas, so of course it comes straight from the United States, and it's absolutely perfect. It wins all the awards, but the one thing is it's got a unique flavor, slightly sweet, black pepper note, balances everything out. Whether you're crafting your cocktail or you're just drinking it neat, get your Tito's on today. We'll be back with some Hardwood on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes from Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You've heard of James Gaddis Jewelers, but have you heard what they've done lately? Everything. A tremendous selection of diamonds and jewels, gold, silver, and much more. Lots of watches, tons of custom-made jewelry, fine gemstones, bracelets, necklaces, so many choices. Romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. James Gaddis has experts to help you with wedding and engagement rings, plus 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar.
As if having one Sunrise on Jefferson, the place for the best breakfast or lunch in Memphis, wasn't enough. Now there's a second Sunrise on Poplar. Now there's a Sunrise in the east to join the Sunrise on Jefferson. For those of you who can't always get to the original Sunrise, now there's a convenient location on Poplar with the same amazing food prepared fast and fresh. And maybe you've been looking for a new opportunity. With the new location, there's a chance to join the Sunrise team. We're always looking for new people with energy and enthusiasm to make Memphians happy. If you're looking for great food or the chance to be a part of something special, you're looking for Sunrise.
Get in the swing of things. Grab your friends, your clients, your employees, and go enjoy everything you love about Topgolf in a luxury suite while at Memphis' only Topgolf Swing Suite at Erling Jensen's Small Bites. Topgolf Swing Suite is an immersive social experience offering guests a luxury private lounge to enjoy Erling Jensen's extraordinary food and beverage service, all while playing a selection of games in a one-of-a-kind simulation bay. Topgolf Swing Suites are great for work outings, celebrations, or just getting together. It's fun for the whole family. It's fun for golfers and non-golfers alike. They have more than just golf. They have soccer, baseball, zombie dodgeball, football, and more. Located at 5069 Sanderlin, adjacent to the Doubletree East Memphis. Check us out at swingsuitememphis.com or call us at 901-58-SWING. Again, that's 901-58-SWING at Memphis' only Topgolf Swing Suite at Erling Jensen's Small Bites. Book your suite today.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
If you have damage to your home and have your insurance carrier involved, you need a great contractor. You also need a team that has seen claims of all shapes and sizes, residential or commercial. After our inspection, we'll share our findings and give you our professional opinion. Some people say you get what you pay for. However, our opinion is free. Trust the name you can depend on, like the tens of thousands of families Brian and I have served over the past 20 years here in the Mid-South. Brian Elder Roofing. We'll measure your roof from outer space and share our team's experience for your property and claim. Repaired roofs, replacement roofs, big roofs, tiny roofs, insurance roofs, flat roofs, TPO roofs, asphalt roofs, tile roofs, slate roofs, metal roofs. If your roof needs some love, call me. 901-867-0303 for Brian Elder Roofing and Contracting.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home anytime she goes away. And I know.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder's in the house. And it is time to go to a little bit of Hardwood. I got some great stories. You know, have you ever been catfished?
No, but I know all about it.
You do?
I used to catfish.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
All kids
No.
did.
I'm not talking about putting like a hot dog
No, I
in a
understand
worm.
what you mean. All kids used to do that. I'm from the generation. That's what we used to do for fun is catfish. I don't want to say the
Other
word.
people?
Yeah, people that were trying to take advantage of other children.
Oh, you mean, you could do it to like predatory people.
Yeah, and also one of my fondest memories of childhood. Have you ever heard of Chat Roulette, John?
Chat Roulette?
Chat Roulette. It was an old service where it was like you have your webcam on and other people also have their webcams on, and you press a button and it just randomly connects you with someone on the internet. And it was like precursor to like dating apps, I suppose. It wasn't meant for dating, but like 65-70% of the time it was a man pleasuring himself.
That you would like get onto the chat room?
And so you'd click it again. Because they're all like those men are
like
looking
Jeffrey
for women.
Toobin, like people doing that on purpose, not on accident.
Not on accident. They're doing it purposefully.
Wow. Well, we got a great catfish story. We got all kinds of wonderful, funny sports stories to talk to you about. But I do want to tell you about something that can change your life, and that's Mid-South Wellness Center. Again, it's over at the offices at Eastgate at 5118 Park Avenue. Give them a call at 901-609-5517. Go see Dr. Star Cheshire. He will take care of you. He can help rehab any of your issues. He can fix all your pain. I don't know how he does it, but my goodness, he does it. I had a bad neck issue, like horrible neck issue. I couldn't turn all the way to my left. It was causing me all kinds of problems, sleepless nights, all kinds of issues. I was kind of masking the pain by taking things so I could sleep, or masking the pain by taking some, Advil, just trying to cover it up. I went and saw him. He's taking care of me. He knew exactly where the pain was. He's like, I can feel it. It's right here. This is out of joint. Bing, bang, boom. Next thing you know, I'm feeling good. Life is good. So if you have anything with neuropathy, your spinal disc, by the way, if you don't just want him being his chiropractic self, you have the non-invasive spinal decompression where you just lay down, they strap you in, and then the table does all the work for you. And it just stretches you out, stretches out your disc, get everything lined back. It is amazing. If you have anything with your lower back, your neck, TMJ, sciatica, migraines, carpal tunnel, whiplash, go out to Mid-South Wellness Center, Mid-South Neuropathy, see Dr. Star Cheshire. Again, call Pam at 901-609-5517. You go in there. It's so easy. It's so quick. It's so wonderful. You'll see Pam's smiling face. Quentin, or we call him Q, will give you a massage, loosen you up, and then Dr. Star will do whatever he needs to do for rehabilitation. If he needs to put you on the bench and crack you around, or if he needs to lay you down, strap you down for spinal decompression. For an exam and for your first treatment, it's usually $249. Got a special for you. Exam for free. $50 for your treatment. That's it. Or you can be super smart and do 4 treatments a month. One every single week for $99. This will not last forever, but if you get in now, you can do this until you're absolutely healed. You can do this for 3 months, 6 months, a year. $99 a month. That's 4 times. That's 4 visits. That's 4 times feeling better. That's 4 times you get to see Pam's smiling face. You get a massage from Q, and Dr. Star will fix any of your issues. I swear by him. Dr. Star, again, he's over at Mid-South Wellness Center at the offices at Eastgate, 5118 Park Avenue. They're open Monday through Thursday. Jay, let's go to Hardinwood.
This is Access Hardinwood.
Got to start with Catfish because I did not know what Catfish was for a
Catfish
long
Hunter?
time. No, not a former baseball player. So there's a show out on I think MTV called Catfish.
A movie as well.
They made a movie about it?
They have.
Interesting. And it's two dudes, and somehow they figure out people are getting catfished. Can you explain what catfishing better than I can?
Yeah,
basically, so let's just say you're a dude in your basement.
Or a woman.
Or you're a woman in your basement. You're a human being in your basement.
You don't have to be in your basement.
True, you don't have to, but it just feels like all those people are in their basement. You're online. You pretend to be somebody else.
Yeah, anybody else.
Anybody you want to be. You make up this whole profile. You put up fake pictures. It's very elaborate to do this to somebody.
That's right.
And then you find somebody else online who's them real selves. They're putting themselves out there for real. And then you pretend to date them and say you want to meet them and you want to do all these wonderful things. And you say you love them. And then you send them pictures of you half naked modeling or something like that.
That's right.
And then they find out, like I said, that you're
not who you said you were.
Not who you said you were. You're somebody in a basement who's creating all these elaborate
That's right.
schemes and concoctions.
Correct.
Well, guess what? Do you know who Haley Deegan is?
Who?
She's in NASCAR, bro. I don't really watch a whole lot of NASCAR.
I think she's in the Xfinity Cup Series, huh?
All I know is it says she's a rising star. And her boyfriend, Chase, is also a rising star on the NASCAR scene, okay?
Tell me your name again.
Her name is Haley Deegan. Well, she is very upset. They put this out on the YouTube yesterday. She says that our lives are being threatened. And she's scared to death because somebody is pretending to be Haley Deegan. Okay? So you have a person in a basement pretending to be the NASCAR racer. Well, she was pretending to have a relationship with this guy for 2 years. Then she told the guy, the fake Haley Deegan told the guy that I'm sorry, but I can't see you anymore because of my boyfriend Chase. Well, the guy that got told by the fake Haley Deegan that they're not going to see each other anymore actually went after Chase and Haley Deegan. The real people. Do you see what I mean by this?
No, I see.
So you understand the whole catfish concept?
I do.
This is very dangerous.
Yeah, it can be. It can be, I suppose.
I feel bad for this. They had to get the FBI involved. They said they came home one day and there was a man standing at her house. And the guy was like, listen, I'm your soulmate. I love you. Please, don't leave me. And then she said, I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're talking about. And he starts threatening, going, we've been together for 3 years. By the way, how do you have a 3-year relationship if you've only sent pictures?
The point I would like, not to victim blame, John, but I'm going to victim blame. Be smarter. I put a lot of the catfishing on the people getting catfished. Just as much as I do at the people doing, not maybe just as much, but
hold on,
they
Haley
are certainly
Deegan,
somewhat.
She's just living her life.
No, not her. She didn't get catfished. She was
okay.
The only way she was a part of it is because the catfisher used her picture. The person getting catfished.
She's in the wake. She's just
right,
in the wake of this whole catfish storm.
Correct. It's unfortunate for her.
So the person that was this normal guy, because somebody broke his heart
and used her real name. That's also messed up.
And used her real name.
Yeah, that
and
doesn't always happen
pictures.
either.
Also, the girl was so elaborate, it says on this YouTube channel, she'd be when her races were over, he'd be the first person that Haley Deegan, quote, would reach out and be like, did you see my race? And send all these crazy things. This guy really believed he was in a relationship with Haley Deegan, but they just never met.
That's crazy. I wonder if there was money involved. You had to get money out of him or something. You had to get something out of this guy. Honestly, the thrill of doing it, maybe.
Well, also,
not that I can relate.
I did read where, the real Haley Deegan did not get any of the money that the fake Haley Deegan was getting from. And by the way, why would a girl in NASCAR need your money, Bob?
That's a great point, John.
They didn't put his name out there, by the way.
So not that we're victim blaming, John, but you see how we can victim blame very much in situations like this.
Well, just because you got catfish doesn't give you a right to go ruin. You should be yo, I got catfish.
Yeah, it's your fault. Be smarter.
Yeah,
on the
don't
internet.
have a relationship with someone for 3 years without meeting them.
That's exactly right, John. It's exactly right. That's what it's all about.
Rule of thumb. And by the way, this is so weird. I'm learning from the catfish. They didn't even meet on like the Tinder or they met in like a chat room.
Oh yeah, like
and
Twitch
they just
chat or something.
Chatted it up.
You ever been in a chat room?
No, I have not.
Like Twitch. That's what Twitch and our YouTube page. Honestly,
hey,
that's
we're on Twitch.
That right there is a chat room. That's what a chat room is.
Then I've been on a chat room
there you
because
go.
I've said hello to these people.
Exactly, that's a chat room.
Well, then
some are more popping than others.
Do you think that anybody's catfishing us?
Maybe.
Do you think what are they going to do if they I mean, I know what they would do to you. Like,
what would they do?
You wouldn't show up to work. You'd be like, I gotta wait by the email. My fake girlfriend's gonna call.
That's right.
So have you?
I do have internet friends. I'm not in relationships with any of them, but I have friends that I've only met through the internet and only talked to on the internet.
How do you talk to them?
Like playing games, you could be talking to them, or like there's a whole app called Discord where you're in like voice channels or chat rooms where you can send
So they
DMs.
don't see your picture, they just hear your voice?
No, they see your face. You can do video chat, you do audio chat, it's all kinds of chats.
So if you got a big bottle of Tito's at home, there's no reason to go to the bar, huh?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a great way to socialize. I'm very much pro meeting people on the internet. Just don't get catfish. Be smart. Don't be an idiot. There's plenty of genuinely nice people on the internet.
Do most people that get catfish, are they older people like me?
No, not necessarily. Like, have you ever seen Dr. Phil, John? You know Dr. Phil?
Bald guy that used to be on Oprah.
Former college football player as well.
Really?
Yeah, he played linebacker at some D1 school. Regardless, Dr. Phil used to have a bunch of people that got catfished on his show. Back in, like, the mid-2000s, let me, turn to the 2010, he had a bunch of victims of catfishing on his show all the time, pouring their hearts out. I'm so sad. I was in love, and now I'm not. That kind of thing. You didn't know Dr. Phil played college football though, huh?
No, I'm kind of more shocked about that.
Isn't that crazy? Let's look it up. Are you looking it up right now?
By the way, did I hear that Maury Povich is leaving television?
Yeah, you sent that to me the other week. He played at North Texas, by the way, John, linebacker at North Texas.
He was a mean green.
He was a mean green before he was a television host. And
is he a shrink?
Yeah, he's a shrink. He started
like
with
a real
Oprah.
shrink or a TV shrink?
No, he's a real shrink. That's how he got the show. He's a real shrink. I like Dr. Phil. He's a good guy. He's quick-witted, too. I see him on, interviews and stuff. He's a funny guy.
You actually watch Dr. Phil?
Oh, I mean, I don't really watch much of Dr. Phil, but I like watching him, back in the day on, late-night talk shows, you know?
I don't know. I don't know how you find time to watch all these TV shows that you watch.
I don't know, John.
Well, I have a question. Do you know who Hideki Matsuyama is?
I do. Former reigning champ.
Reigning champ of what?
The Masters.
That's right. He's got a green jacket.
He also got the most beautiful swing I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Better than Tiger Woods,
yeah,
Joe?
Stripes the ball as well as anybody I've ever seen.
So he's a good ball striker, huh?
Yeah, and he's good. He's just a good player.
He's just a great player.
Good player.
But his strength is striking balls.
I think so.
He's got a great stroke.
Speaking of striking balls, John, you mentioned that today's...
Nope, I am not done.
Oh, please continue.
Because Hideki, I didn't know he was the best ball striker. Does he have length?
Oh, yeah. Well, but he doesn't play for South Carolina.
Oh, that's right. Do you know what he does have, though? He has great taste. Because I found this out. You know that the former champ gets to make the
dinner?
The champion's dinner, and tonight's the champion's dinner.
What are we eating?
My homie went out there and got A5 Wagyu beef.
Wow.
The best beef on planet Earth.
Wagyu.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
A5, not just Wagyu, brah.
A5 Wagyu.
A5.
What do you make with that? What do you eat it by itself? You eat it with something? How do you eat A5
The
Wagyu?
way he's got it going down, it's Wagyu beef ribeye with
ribeye
with mixed mushrooms and vegetables, and then some kind of dressing.
Oh man!
That
sounds good, John.
Did you know it's $50 an ounce? And I ain't talking about weed, brother.
But it's the Masters, so they got it covered.
Well, this is what made me sad. So, and again, I'm a big barbecue guy.
Yeah.
Do you know one dinner was by Jordan Spieth, kind of the littler guy,
From Texas.
Yeah, he's from Texas, so he screwed this one up. He didn't get it from Central Barbecue, but he had barbecue for the Masters dinner.
But Texas barbecue, so probably brisket.
Yeah,
stuff.
totally different.
Mm-hmm.
So he should be, if you're going to do it, he could have gone to eatcbq.com. He could have had the best barbecue in the world, shipped right down to the Masters. Bing, bang, boom, he has a great dinner. Instead, he went Texas BS barbecue. Because everybody knows the best barbecues in Memphis, and everybody knows the best barbecue is at Central Barbecue. 4 great locations, downtown Central, Summer, and the new one out here in Poplar in East Memphis. Tiger Woods had fajitas.
I like brisket.
And cheeseburgers.
I like that too. I like brisket though, John. You don't like brisket?
I'm going no, dude. I want the A5.
No, but I'm talking barbecue.
Actually,
I love brisket, man. It's good stuff. Falls right. It's like it melts in your mouth, man. Like that's underrated.
Man, see, I go more porkish. Like when I go my barbecue, man, I want my ribs. I like making my sandwich. I like the barbecue beans.
It's just a different food. It shouldn't be compared. We should stop comparing. You know, they're good in their own way, John.
They're good in their own way.
Pork is certainly much better on nachos. You ever had? Oh, I'm excited for those barbecue nachos tonight at the Redbirds game, man.
Oh man, I'm very excited about that as well.
You know, speaking of Redbirds, John, you know, opening day for baseball for minor leagues. To celebrate, I've been adjusting my crotch the entire show.
Well, excellent job.
Yeah, well, I really do that every day, though.
Excellent job.
Thank you, John.
I don't know if you know this. Did you know Antonio Brown has a coaching job?
Where?
He's going to be with
Kanye's school.
No. Fan-controlled football league.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Brown confirmed that he will be joining the Zappers. They're owned by Bob Menery.
The guy that said the F word on an ESPN broadcast.
Yes, exactly.
Uh-huh.
So Brown is he's rechanging his life. He's going to be a coach. And another thing happened that was very bizarre.
What's that?
You watch college baseball.
Yeah, you know.
So Kansas baseball is playing Texas Tech.
Oh, that's where I went to school.
It's not a very good game.
Because Texas Tech is killing them?
In fact, the Jayhawks are getting pummeled.
Yep.
28-2.
Sounds about right.
Well, it should have been technically, it should have been 29-2, to be honest with you.
What happened? Why was it not?
Because the Red Raiders hit a home run. And Kansas's center fielder, Sergio Riviera, tracks it down, climbs the wall, goes up over it, and looks like he makes one of the most miraculous catches in the whole wide world.
He sold it?
The only problem is he really didn't catch it. So he comes back down, acts like he's got the ball, and the guy who hit the home run runs around first base, turns around and runs to the dugout. Once he gets in the dugout, picks up the ball and throws the ball back in. Instead of it being a home run, it was called an out. You're getting beat 28-2. Okay, you're getting beat 28-2. Should you not have saved that performance for maybe a closer game?
Gamesmanship, John. You can do it every game. Why not do it every game?
Oh, that was.
You got to sell it.
That's one of the more bizarre things that I've seen in college baseball this year. We got college baseball tonight, beginning at 5:30. Ole Miss Rebels. Did you know that?
Yeah, hotty toddy.
Hotty toddy. Don't touch that dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
You have opinions?
Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad.
We want to hear them. Call or text us on the AutoZone listener line at 360-8255. That's the AutoZone listener line at 901-360-8255.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkhammer for the Sunrise Truck Corral. Gonna buy a truck? Sunrise has new trucks, used trucks, big trucks, little trucks, custom trucks, factory trucks, long bed trucks, short bed trucks, regular cab trucks, extended cab trucks, crew cab trucks, 4-cylinder trucks, 6-cylinder trucks, 8-cylinder trucks, 2-wheel drive trucks, 4-wheel drive trucks, all-wheel drive trucks, GMC trucks, Chevy trucks, Ford trucks, Dodge trucks, diesel trucks, SUVs, light-duty trucks, heavy-duty trucks, trucks for rich folks, trucks for poor folks, trucks for young folks, trucks for old folks. Want a truck? Go online to the Sunrise Truck Corral, the old Hummer building in Bartlett.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand bottled, taste tested, sent to a few friends, then taste tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com.
Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
I don't know. Can you just pick something and order? Yeah, but anyway, where are you at? You don't...
It only takes 2 seconds of distracted driving to become a statistic. You can lose your driving privileges, your vehicle, face jail time, or even lose or take a life. Slow down, Memphis. The life you save may be your own. Brought to you by the Memphis Police Department, Traffic Operations.
Hi, this is
John Conway with Conway Services. When was the last time you had your heating system cleaned? How about a safety inspection? Right now, Conway Service is offering our 16-point Energy Saver Super Tune-Up on your heating system for only $69. That's right, for only $69, we'll come out and perform our 16-point Energy Saving Super Tune-Up on your heating system. We'll also include a complete safety inspection using our state-of-the-art camera system, making sure your heating system is safe to operate this winter. Plus, we'll run a carbon monoxide test on your heating system, all for only $69. You can have the peace of mind knowing your heating system is safe and ready for those cold winter nights. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric service company at 384-3511. That's 384-3511. Call this week, and we'll perform your heating system tune-up for only $57.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
My friends feel it's their appointed duty. They keep trying to tell me all you want to do is use me. But my answer ain't all that use me stuff.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder's in the house. Thanks to Gabe Kuhn, who's going to be on from 3 to 6 for joining us at noon. We talked a little NFL, some college basketball, a little baseball. Talked about his Cardinals. He's excited about his Cardinals. Do you think there's anything to be excited about?
I don't know, John. It's opening day this week.
It's opening day downtown. You know what?
At the Redbirds. Yeah, that's right.
Are you excited about the Redbirds getting things going?
Sure.
Are you having barbecue nachos?
Sure.
Are you having a hot dog?
Why not?
Are you putting ketchup on it?
I don't know.
By the way, do you put ketchup on your hot dog?
I don't know, John.
You don't know, really? Do you eat hot dogs?
Sure.
Well, Brian Dacus puts ketchup on his dog, and I feel like that's just like sacrilegious.
Well, mustard's number one, but I put mustard and ketchup on the dog. But it depends. Sometimes just mustard. Sometimes put cheese on it. Sometimes chili. You know, it depends, John. I do want to play one piece of sound for you before we have to go today, if I can.
Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird?
No, it's Jalen Green, John. Jalen Green was asked a question in his interview the other day and gave a hilarious answer, I thought. You know, Jalen Green played in the G League last year as a rookie for the Rockets. This is a question he was asked the other day, or yesterday.
Looking back to October, November to now, where do you think you've grown, like, as a person? What have you learned about yourself through this rookie year?
That I'm a bucket, and I just need to stay confident in myself.
Well, it seems like he has no shortage of confidence in himself.
All right, what did he say?
He said, what have you learned about yourself? He goes, that I'm a bucket.
That's what I thought he said, that I'm a bucket.
I'm a bucket. He's a bucket, John. It's a spot the lie. He's a bucket.
I like it.
He's a bucket, John.
Dude, not bad. Did you look at the Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird situation?
I don't have that pulled up, but
that one's a good
one.
one.
But I could deliver the joke. I mean, if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've already said it twice, and I feel like that's a dangerous game we're playing.
Yeah, I think it is. One thing that's not dangerous, Grizzlies playing basketball and betting on them. However, they've won 7 games in a row. Grizzlies play the Jazz on the road tonight. Utah's a 5.5-point favorite. Gun to the head. Who you taking?
I mean, on the road against the Jazz is a good team, but I mean, 5 points with the Grizzlies. I don't care where we're playing. I mean, I feel like they've done nothing but at least earned that from you. 5 points. I'll take it.
You're taking the 5.5?
I mean, just on the radio, not in real life.
Not in real life?
Are you?
Let me think.
You know what?
No,
maybe.
I'm not. The thing is Dylan Brooks day to day. How do you know he's gonna play? I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about this one.
Give your ball to Santi Aldama. Let him go hoop.
They were a 7-point dog last time and just went out there and beat the brakes off the Suns.
It's at home, though.
It was at home. Grizzlies, 7-game win streak tonight on the line. 8 o'clock is that tip. They are a 5.5-point dog to the Jazz. Tonight, you know where you can watch it, by the way?
Where?
Have you been to Getaway Sports Bar yet?
No, tell me about it.
Oh, my goodness. It's only, I hate to say it's a great kept secret because it's not going to be a secret anymore. It's at 4632 Winchester Road. Coldest bar in town. Coldest beer. Not going to cold bar. I'm saying coldest beer in town. 6 pool tables, 15 televisions. If you like watching sports, if you like racking them and cracking them, if you like good bar grub and really cold beer, from noon to 1:30, 7 days a week, that's Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester Road. My time has come and gone. Jay, I'm John. I hope you actually get out there and make this world a better place. I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
It's time to change our ways so we can save the day for the children's sake and make a better place.